Welcome to the deep dive. We're really glad you're here with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great one today.
It is. Because if you're listening to this, you're probably someone who loves to learn. Someone who's always looking for that next mental upgrade.
Right, a different perspective.
Exactly. Or just a slight edge to apply to your daily routine. And today, we are going to unpack a truly fascinating source document. It's titled, Why Confident People Care About What They Wear: The Psychology of Style.
Which I think is going to surprise a lot of people.
Oh, for sure. Because our mission for this deep dive is to explore the profound psychological connection between your closet and your daily behavior.
We are completely bypassing all the superficial fashion talk.
Yeah, no trend forecasting here.
Right, no runway gossip. We want to find out how your personal style actually shapes your success.
Because it's so easy to just dismiss style as something frivolous, right?
It is. We treat it as purely aesthetic, just fabric draped over our bodies to keep us warm.
Or just covering up so we don't get arrested.
Exactly. But the source material we're looking at today takes a completely different angle. It frames the clothes we wear as a fundamental psychological tool.
A tool that alters your cognitive state.
Yes, a mechanism that changes how your brain actually functions in the moment.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
So I want to set the stage right away by posing a core misconception directly to you, the listener.
This is a good exercise.
I want you to picture a highly confident, successful person, someone who always seems impeccably put together. They walk into a room and they just have a presence.
We all know someone like that.
Right. Now, what is your first assumption about why they dress that way? Be honest. Most people assume confident people dress well simply because they're trying to show off.
Right. We tend to think it's all about status.
Status, vanity, a desperate need to have everyone look at them.
And that assumption is exactly what our source completely dismantles.
Completely tears it apart.
It does. The research and the psychological principles we're diving into today reveal something much deeper and honestly much more practical.
Yeah.
Confident people don't care about their clothing because they want you to look at them. They care because their outfit is a fundamental part of their own identity.
Their identity, not their ego.
Exactly. And identity, as we know in behavioral psychology, is the main engine that drives behavior. To put it simply, what you wear dictates how you act.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Go for it.
The myth of vanity is incredibly pervasive. A lot of people listening would probably argue, come on, there are definitely people out there who just want to flex the most expensive designer labels to prove they have money.
Oh, absolutely. But the source makes a very clear distinction between flexing and actual grounded confidence.
Right. Genuinely confident people aren't just vain.
No, they care deeply about what they put on their bodies because they are incredibly clear about 4 specific things.
Which are?
Who they are, what they tolerate, what they are building, and what they represent.
That's powerful.
It has nothing to do with arrogance. It has everything to do with clarity of purpose. We really need to shift how we view an outfit here. An outfit isn't just a billboard communicating to the outside world.
It's communication to yourself.
Yes, it is internal communication.
I love that concept.
When you wake up and dress intentionally, you are sending a very clear physical, psychological signal to your own brain.
You're looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I matter.
My goals matter.
My presence today matters. You are establishing the baseline for how you will tackle the next 12 to 16 hours.
And the flip side of that is honestly a little terrifying when you really think about it.
Oh, the flip side is brutal. When you dress without intention, when you just throw on whatever wrinkled, stained T-shirt happens to be at the top of the laundry pile.
You're subconsciously signaling to yourself, today doesn't count.
Right. Or you're telling your brain, I'm not successful yet, so why even try to look like it?
Or I'll show up fully later, just not today.
Which leads perfectly to one of the most powerful points in our source document. Later is built from today.
That line really stuck with me.
Same. We tell ourselves that we'll start acting like the person we want to become once we get the promotion.
Or once we start the business.
Or hit the goal. But the reality is, if you string together enough days of signaling to yourself that today doesn't count.
You end up building a future where you never fully show up at all.
Now, I have to be honest, reading that part made me pause. Because we all have those days, especially now with so much remote work.
Oh, the work from home trap.
Exactly. Where we think, I'm just working from my living room, I won't see anyone, I'll just stay in these ratty old sweatpants.
Right.
I mean, is the brain really making that dramatic of a connection just because I'm in comfortable old clothes?
What's fascinating here is that the human brain constantly runs on environmental cues.
That's so silly.
We are essentially biological machines scanning and responding to our surroundings. Think about it. We respond to the lighting in a room.
Dim light makes us sleepy. Bright light makes us alert.
Exactly. We respond to the sounds around us, the people we interact with, the physical spaces we occupy. And yes, we respond deeply to what we are physically wearing. Clothing acts as a direct, tangible behavior trigger.
A behavior trigger. We've all had that moment where we put on a sharp outfit for a Zoom call.
Even if you're technically wearing pajama bottoms off camera.
Right. And suddenly you find yourself speaking a little louder, sitting a little straighter, sounding more authoritative.
Your shirt isn't just a piece of cotton. It's practically a remote control for your actions.
That's a great way to put it.
The source points out that if you put on something that makes you feel strong and capable, the physical changes are immediate. You do stand straighter, you speak clearer, you move with more purpose.
You actually follow through on your difficult tasks because you are embodying the persona of someone who gets things done.
It's a continuous feedback loop. Your clothes touch your skin, your brain registers the quality and the intention behind the garment, and it immediately adjusts your posture and your cognitive focus to match that physical cue.
This brings us to a really compelling case study highlighted in the source material. It's a brand called BKLEO Clothing.
Yeah, this is a great example.
And I want to be clear to the listener, we aren't looking at them to review their fashion catalog. We're looking at them because they are the perfect real-world illustration of this exact psychology in action.
They don't just sell shirts and hoodies. They specifically design what the source calls message-driven apparel.
Message-driven apparel. Their entire core positioning revolves around empowerment, with slogans like elevate your style, empower your journey,
Wear your mindset.
and wear your transformation.
They're an excellent case study because they are essentially taking this abstract psychological concept of cognitive cues.
And turning it into a tangible, wearable product.
Exactly. They are designing clothes with explicit meaning, framing their apparel as a tool to inspire who the wearer is becoming. It's about celebrating personal growth and boosting confidence through intentional motivational messaging.
Let's look at some of the specific product messages BKLEO offers. Because analyzing the actual words they use really drives the psychological point home.
Think of these not as graphic tees you'd buy at a souvenir shop.
Right? These are literal, wearable identity cues. They have designs that say things like, built different,
Fearless.
stop thinking small,
Building an empire, one dream at a time.
not human, willpower,
From dust, I rise reborn with purpose.
Error 404, path not found, create your own and forge ahead.
And restricted access. Authorized only.
Notice how none of those are passive statements.
No, they aren't just random trendy words slapped onto fabric. Those are deliberate, active identity cues.
The psychology behind this is that you use the shirt to anchor yourself to a specific mental state.
Right. If you were wearing a shirt that says building empire every time you catch your reflection,
Or every time you even consciously remember what you put on that morning.
your brain is nudged back toward discipline and long-term vision.
I want to ask you, the listener, right now.
Yeah.
Out of those messages, build different, fearless, stop thinking small, or maybe building empire, which one of those hits you the hardest right now?
It's a good question to sit with.
Which one of those phrases represents the exact energy or the exact reminder you need to borrow for your life today? Take a second and really think about what you would choose to wear if you were trying to program your mindset for the day.
It's a great exercise in self-awareness, and the source points out a brilliant, highly specific example from BKLEO's line that perfectly encapsulates this idea of programming your mindset.
Oh, the why not design.
Yes, their why not product design.
I found the breakdown of that specific design so clever. Walk us through why it works psychologically.
It's a fantastic piece of visual psychology. The brand places the word WY inside a geometric box, and the word not is placed deliberately outside the box.
So simple, but so effective.
It's a visual representation of a mindset shift. The box symbolizes our comfort zones, our self-imposed boundaries, or the societal expectations we trap ourselves in.
By placing the word not outside the box, the design physically breaks the boundary.
It symbolizes curiosity and challenging the status quo. It distills a highly confident, growth-oriented mindset into a single, wearable phrase.
Why not me? Why not now?
Exactly.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The source transitions from just analyzing the messaging written on the clothes to a much broader concept, the idea of style as a reflection of your personal standards.
Confident people have a completely different relationship with what most of us would casually call small things.
That's right, because to a truly confident, growth-minded person, small things are never actually small.
They are signals. Everything is a data point.
The source argues that your room is a signal. Your calendar is a signal. Your daily nutrition, your circle of friends, and yes, your outfit, they are all signals broadcasting your baseline standards to yourself.
Maintaining a consistent style isn't about flexing on your neighbors.
Or showing off at the grocery store.
No, it is a personal internal declaration that says, I don't do sloppy, I don't do half-effort, I don't do random.
Let's unpack that term cognitive dissonance in this context, because it's crucial here.
Oh, absolutely.
Cognitive dissonance is that uncomfortable psychological friction you feel when your actions don't match your deeply held beliefs.
So if you internally believe you are a high-performing entrepreneur, a dedicated artist, or a professional who demands respect,
But you consistently dress in a way that says, I don't care, your brain gets confused.
your external reality is arguing with your internal ambition.
But when you consistently maintain high personal standards, even in the small things, like your outfit, confidence naturally follows, because your daily actions are finally matching your ideal self-image.
The friction is gone.
It really makes you look at your own closet and realize how many half-effort signals you might have hanging up in there right now.
For sure.
But hold on, if we connect high standards to style, a lot of people are going to picture tight, restrictive, uncomfortable formal wear.
Stiff suits, ties that choke you, or shoes that give you blisters.
Right. But the source brings up another angle that totally flips that assumption on its head.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, we absolutely have to talk about the physical reality of clothing. The source makes a profound point that is often completely ignored in discussions about fashion.
And what is that?
If you are uncomfortable, you cannot be fully confident. Full stop. Discomfort actively destroys confidence.
It makes so much sense when you think about it. Imagine you're in an important meeting, or you're trying to focus on a complex project.
If your attention is constantly split because you are subtly tugging at a scratchy shirt collar,
Or adjusting a hoodie that keeps riding up.
or feeling physically restricted by stiff denim, your brain is actively wasting valuable cognitive energy.
You're spending bandwidth managing physical discomfort all day long instead of focusing on your work.
Your focus is your most valuable asset, especially if you are trying to build something, lead a team, or perform at a high level. Confident people protect their focus fiercely.
They don't tolerate distractions, especially not from their own clothes.
This is why our case study, BKLEO, addresses this directly. In their Why Choose philosophy, they identify the problem stiff, scratchy, restrictive fabrics, and they offer the solution.
Utilizing fabrics that are soft, stretching, and incredibly comfortable.
And the key takeaway here for you, the listener, is that you need to completely reframe how you view the concept of comfort.
Comfort is not laziness.
I think we often conflate the two.
We really do. Wearing oversized, stained sweatpants because you gave up on the day, that's laziness. But intentional comfort is what the source brilliantly calls functional power.
Functional power is the perfect term. When you feel physically good, when your movement is unrestricted, and your clothes feel like a second skin, you can show up mentally.
You have full access to your cognitive resources.
This is absolutely crucial if your day involves working, training, creating, traveling, or building a business. You should never have to fight your own clothes to get your work done.
Absolutely. True confidence means you don't need to prove yourself to strangers by suffering in uncomfortable, flashy designer gear.
You choose brands that align with your internal values and actually support your functional day-to-day needs.
Which naturally brings us to the community aspect of all this. We've talked a lot about internal communication, but confidence is also highly social, isn't it?
We are inherently social creatures. Even the most independent among us are influenced by the company we keep. Being around growth-minded people reinforces growth-minded behavior in ourselves.
We don't seek out these communities because we desperately need external approval.
No, but because we need reinforcement of the high standards we are trying to uphold. When you see others committing to their goals, it normalizes that commitment for you.
The source shares some pretty incredible social proof for BK Ilio clothing to illustrate how this community aspect ties into their apparel. They boast a 4.8 out of 5 average rating, over 12,000 happy customers, and a 91% recommendation rate.
Now, those aren't just vanity metrics.
Not at all. That tells you people aren't just buying a piece of fabric. They are buying into a feeling, a shared message, and a community of people who are also trying to elevate their lives.
The testimonials included in the source material really prove that this phenomenon is about identity change, not just retail therapy.
The source highlights a few specific quotes from real customers that are quite revealing.
Marcus J. said, "I'm not who I used to be, stronger, more focused, proud of my growth."
Ashley R. noted, "It's more than clothing, it's a mindset."
And Daniel K. called his apparel a reminder of how far I've come.
Those quotes really hit hard. They prove that what confident people are truly looking for when they get dressed in the morning is a daily physical reminder of their own progression.
They don't just want to look good, they want to wear their transformation.
They want armor for the day.
Precisely. The goal isn't look cool for strangers. The goal is become more of who I am.
So what does this all mean? How can you, the listener, take all this psychology, all these deep concepts about environmental signals, cognitive dissonance, and functional power, and actually use it tomorrow morning when you open your closet?
Well, the source provides an immediate, highly practical application. They call it the confidence uniform.
This is a fantastic, actionable framework. It takes all the theory we've discussed and breaks it down into 3 specific layers that you can apply to your existing wardrobe right now.
You don't need to go out and spend a fortune to do this.
No, not at all. So the first layer of the uniform is the message layer, which directly targets your identity.
Think of this layer as your internal coach. When you wake up, you need to pause and ask yourself, what specific message do I need to live and embody today?
If you are facing a scary meeting or a tough conversation and you need courage, you intentionally choose to wear a message or a garment that represents fearless.
If you are struggling with your daily habits and you desperately need discipline, you put on something that represents building empire.
Or, if your day requires deep, uninterrupted focus, you might choose an identity cue, like restricted access.
The entire goal of the message layer is to consciously and deliberately select the identity cue that will anchor your mindset for the next 12 hours.
You are setting the psychological baseline before you even leave the bedroom.
Okay, once you have your underlying message or mindset locked in, you move to the second layer of the framework, the function layer.
This is all about applying that concept of functional power, comfort and movement. You have to look at your calendar and honestly ask yourself, what does my day actually look like?
Right, you have to match the physical function of your clothes to the physical reality of your schedule. Let's walk through a few hypothetical scenarios.
Okay, let's say your primary goal today is physical, like a heavy gym day or running errands.
Then your function layer needs to be a relaxed tee and breathable activewear.
But let's say it's a heavy, deep work day. You're going to be behind a desk, analyzing data or writing for 6 hours straight.
For that, you might opt for a soft, premium hoodie or a comfortable sweatshirt that keeps you warm without restricting your arms.
And if it is a public-facing day, say you're in important meetings, networking, or giving a presentation,
Then your function layer requires a clean fit with some structural integrity. It needs to look sharp, but still prioritize movement.
this is where investing in those soft, stretching, comfortable fabrics becomes absolutely essential.
You want the confidence of looking professional, but the functional power of feeling comfortable. So your focus stays on the presentation, not on your restrictive collar.
You want confidence that lasts far longer than the 5 minutes you spend looking in the mirror before you leave the house.
And finally, we reach the third layer, the standard layer.
I love this one. This is the upgrade detail.
It is just one small, intentional detail that finishes the look and signals to yourself and the world, I am serious. I pay attention to the details.
And again, this doesn't have to be an expensive luxury item. It just has to be highly intentional.
The source lists several great examples of the standard layer. It could be taking 30 seconds to make sure your shoes are perfectly clean and scuff-free.
It could be wearing a crisp, fitted cap instead of a beat-up old one.
It could be adding a simple chain or a nice, reliable watch.
It could even be as simple as making sure your nails are clean, taking the time to iron your shirt, or making sure the colors of your outfit are thoughtfully coordinated.
It is that one final touch that proves you didn't just roll out of bed and surrender to the day. It proves you have standards.
And the absolute beauty of this 3-layer confidence uniform, the message, the function, and the standard, is that it drastically reduces decision fatigue.
Decision fatigue is the hidden superpower of adopting a uniform. The human brain only has so much willpower and decision-making capacity each day.
When you repeat this 3-layer framework, you stop negotiating with yourself every single morning.
You don't stand in front of your closet at 7 a.m., staring blankly, wasting energy wondering who you were supposed to be today.
You eliminate all of that cognitive friction. You just follow the framework, and you show up on autopilot as the exact person you promised yourself you would become.
It is brilliant. You save your mental energy for the decisions that actually matter.
And if this idea of utilizing clothing as profound identity support resonates with you, the source makes it clear that our case study, BKLEO Clothing, is a brand built specifically to facilitate this exact framework.
They design everything around this psychology of message, function, and high standards. It's a great example of a company understanding the deeper psychological needs of their customers rather than just selling them fabric.
Exactly. To recap our deep dive today, we've covered a lot of psychological ground, from environmental cues to cognitive dissonance. But the core message we want you to walk away with is this: true confidence isn't loud.
It isn't about flashing logos, screaming for attention, or trying to prove your worth to a room full of strangers.
True confidence is quiet, and above all, it is consistent. Confident people care deeply about what they wear because they care deeply about the life they are building.
They care about their daily habits, their internal identity, their personal standards, and their ultimate future.
This raises an important question.
Actually, I think it raises an incredible point for everyone listening to mull over as they look at their own wardrobe tonight.
What's that?
Well, we've established that your brain is constantly responding to the cues of what you wear, that your clothes are actively triggering your daily behavior.
Right.
So if you look in your closet right now, what outdated past version of yourself might your current wardrobe be secretly forcing you to hold on to?
Wow. That is a heavy, provocative thought to end on. Are your clothes anchoring your mindset to a version of yourself you've already outgrown?
It might just be time to audit the closet and clear out the cognitive dissonance.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, don't just get dressed. Dress with intention. Choose your message. Wear your mindset. We will see you in the next one.